What's going on, everybody? LK here, and today a little Dragon Ball for y'all. People have been asking for this for a pretty long time, actually. And with the patch just dropping, I figured it was a good time to do it. This is my guide to Gotenks Ghost Oki. So as a disclaimer, by the way, this is just the way that I do it. So like, if you think my Gotenks was good, then this will be a good guide for you to follow. Everyone does this pretty differently. For a long time, I actually recommended Subatomic Saber's Gotenk's Ghost Oki guide, but I don't know if he made a new one for this version, so I'm just making one really quick for this new patch that just came out. So we have to look at the move itself. So I actually play fighting games on an arcade stick. I can show you guys. I use this thing to play fighting games. So the way I've been doing this is a little bit different than what you would typically do, and because of the new system changes, I've actually changed how I do this in general. So the basic pattern you're going to use is you're going to do ghosts like this. So in front you have the S ghost and the H ghost, and the back you have the L and M ghost, right? So the old setup was actually, and this is good if you play on pad, was to hold S, fire, and then press L, you whiff JL, so then the L ghost fires, and then you press H while you're doing JL, so then the H ghost fires and you do high-low. That's the old basic setup, but because of a change they made in this patch where when you're holding S, you automatically super jump without having to do the super jump input, now this is like kind of tricky and honestly annoying to do. But if you have a way on pad, or if you play cheat box, haha, or arcade stick, what you can actually do is you hold L, H, and S. So now the setup that I do is I backdash. Okay, so now the setup that I do, right, is that I backdash, I do the input, and then I'm holding all three buttons. I'll fire S and H while super jumping, because now when I just jump, now I get a super jump, so I can just jump forward, instantly hold down towards them, and then when I fire the H ghost, I let go of the L button, and that gives you your basic setup. The nice thing about this is that it's basically safe to everything. So in the previous version, I would use that with JL setup as my general setup, but if I was playing against a character that had like a good reversal or a good 1 meter option or something like that, then I would use this SHL setup. But now you don't really have to do that. You could just use this setup by default and just basically cover everything, which is really nice. So once you get that down, your mix up is legit. You just fire them, and then you just do your low into auto combo, or you do your high into auto combo, and you have another ghost left for pressure. If you're playing a Gotenks team, by the way, the position of Gotenks is going to really matter a lot. If you play Gotenks on point, like I have been doing for like the past year, then building two touch sequences are going to be very important, because in the point war, your opponent is going to spark your ghost. Like, they're just going to do it. If you play him in the middle or as an anchor, that means you're planning on bringing him later, so you don't really have to worry about being like super optimal if you're two touches, because the assumption is, since it's mid and late game, you're going to have resources to just kill no matter what. Now, there's a general line of damage you're aiming for when you go for Ghost Oki to threaten killing them. They did make a change to like these combos so that they do a little bit less damage. So my recommendation is that if you can, to hit confirm into the shout cancel combo. If you can, if you're new to Gotenks, it's worth learning. It is a little awkward at the start, but here's the combo. And this will give you the perfect positioning to do it, and then basically everything you do here should kill them as a follow-up. When you're practicing Ghost Oki 2, if you reset to the corner and backstep, you'll be at basically the same range to practice it, so that's really good. So problem number one then is, what happens if the opponent does this? So here, my opponent is actually going to do a delay wake up. So the setup I just showed you earlier, that is assuming basically that you think they're going to get up right away or do an up tech. If you think they're going to lay on the ground, my recommendation is to do this setup, which is a hold S setup, and you're going to release the S ghost, instant air dash, jump heavy, and release that ghost, and then super dash, and then fire the next two ghosts. So it's going to look like this. As a side note, it's going to be a little bit more annoying to do this version of the game, only because, again, when you hold S, you will get an automatic super jump. So just make sure you fire that S ghost first before you do your instant air dash, or if you're going to hold S, you have to remember you're going to super jump, so you need to hold down. Now what's nice about this is that you can basically just sit there and wait for the opponent to do something, and then once you confirm that they're not doing anything, you still get a setup, which is really nice. Your setup is going to be off the super dash in this case, so when you fire, along those lines. I recommend using JL or M, doesn't really matter. JL should hit at the exact same time technically, but it's okay. Okay, so we're gonna talk about combos for a little bit. So since we just talked about that hold SIDJH combo, so what combo do you do if they get hit? So for example, let's say you wait here and they do like wake up reflect. So what are we gonna do as a punish? So in that case, I would do a combo like this one. Into supers, whatever resources you have available. This is using the new change. This is not what I used to do. You can just actually do spin again into assist if you feel like it. So the good news is for the other setup, the hold LHS setup, you have the same type of thing going on. So into supers. Now, a couple of notes. So you might have noticed the meter gain was different between the two combos. In the first combo, when you're holding S and doing instant air dash, the thing is you're hitting them with ghosts. So you have basically infinite meter penalty because you're hitting them with a super. Where in the other setup where you're holding 3 buttons, when I do Galactic Donut, I fire my last medium ghost so that it doesn't hit them during the little cinematic that it has. So in this case, you can actually get around the meter penalty and build the meter that you need to finish an opponent. So with how I'm playing the team right now, because I haven't really updated my combos, I've been playing a lot more Guilty Gear than Dragon Ball, to be honest. I usually need around like half a bar or like 0.75, but you get that from neutral naturally. You get meter from moving forward, attacking them, blocking, etc. If you're playing like anchor or mid Gotenks, you will definitely have the resource to 2-touch without having to think about like the starter really. So this can be an example sequence that you could do. As a side note, if the opponent uptechs and gets hit, you can use the same combo as we used when we baited the reflect. So just keep in mind that because of meter penalty, you're just not going to get a lot of meter for that combo. Now, another thing you got to keep in mind is that generally how we go into this is that we're aiming for this positioning almost all the time. So even when you're like mid-screen, for example, if you have assist, you should build a combo that gets you to that position. So as an example, this is a combo I do quite often. And from here, I'm in about the right position I need to be. You also really want to try to use your assists in your combos if possible. Gotenks gets his assist back from doing ghosts, so there's nothing wrong with burning whatever assist resource you have. The combo I showed before with this combo part, you mostly aim for it when you don't have assist available, but it does about the same. So the main thing about it is that you're just reaching the line where they're going to die from ghost, whether or not you have your assists. Now, honestly, the only thing I have to add is about mid-screen ghosts. So ideally you just don't do it. It's kind of like a weird situation, and the opponent's really far. So even though you can shoot the ghost in control space, I don't really recommend it. Always try to put them in the corner if possible. But there will be a situation that comes up where you have them in the corner, but you're farther than the ideal positioning. So here's an example. So what do we do at this positioning? Because we are able to hold S, what you can do now is that you can hold S, dash, and then jump and do the same setup. That type of thing. You should be able to force the opponent down if they up tech, combo if they get hit, and get a mix-up if they block. Now, as one last final thing, every now and then you get a not ideal situation even when Gotenks is in the corner. So what I mean is, let's say you get a combo like this. And you have to do backdash ghost. So when I do backdash ghost, I typically do the air dash setup because he's technically disadvantaged here, but you have the ghost to protect you. So in this case, I'll sit there, I'll see what the opponent does. If they vanish, I'll 2H. If they reflect, I'll fire after reflect. I kind of give it to them a little bit, but I have the threat of ghost in front of me. This is not a common setup, and the characters who have like escapes like hit, for example, or Gogeta, are really going to smoke you in this situation if you have to do like air, dragon rush, into land, backdash, ghost, and stuff like that. So I try to not do this, but sometimes you just can't get the right positioning from your corner hits, either because like you misjudged, or for example, one thing can happen where, let's say you don't do more than like 3.5k off your combo, then the opponent gets hit by ghosts for some reason, like they try to up tech vanish, or like they just up tech take the hit thinking that you're not going to kill them, and then you don't kill them because they have like a little bit more life. So you have to do dr, land, backdash, or have the extra meter ghost, and then like that's all I could do. I'm just putting that out there because it's something that you can go for, but it's not something you should aim for. Ideally, you always end your combos with back, jump, H, land, ghost, so that you have a nice spacing. They can't really do very much about like where you are, and you can get the setups that you want. Okay, so that's basically it. I actually used to do like 4 or 5 setups, but now because of the new change to the S button and how you jump now, I kind of consolidated my ghost setups even more. So this is basically what I use right now. As usual, if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.